And I think it can change your life because we have our good friend, our chosen expert, our chosen financial attorney who is a certified bankruptcy specialist, and our one and only, the debt doctor, Lou Esbin, in the house today. In the house.
Yeah.
And get that, he's an attorney with a personality. You don't always get that. Nothing against you attorneys out there, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So we're having some fun today because Lou is bringing up some great things that I know Gino and I have learned a lot about. And we're going to touch on a little deeper on the subject of, dealing with debt right now and timing and the fact that, well, Gino, you put it eloquently right at break.
Well, we were talking about, you know, as you were saying, you're the emergency room doctor for, the surgeon and the emergency room doctor for the financial economy.
Yeah, the emergency room surgeon of the economy.
There you go.
I knew he'd.
And that's not who you want to be, though. You'd rather see someone 6 months back so that it's not an emergency, so that you can plan for it, so that you can take a better course of action. Because sometimes you make it to the emergency room, it's too late.
Yeah, and that kind of, what Don said is that, people shouldn't be afraid to come see me. And, by coming in to see me when maybe they just don't feel good, or things aren't quite right, they've had a reduction in their pay. They're not getting their overtime anymore. That's the time to come see me and say, hey, Lou, I'm kind of worried. What might be my options? And it's knowing what your options are. It's being able to come home and your family is there and knowing that you're going to be doing what's in the best interest of your family, because they're the ones that are going to give you a warm hug, not the bill collector.
Believe me, they're not giving you any hugs.
No, not giving you any hugs.
They're blowing up your phone and annoying you every minute of the day, which is stressful.
Oh,
is it
absolutely.
Not? I mean, my goodness.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the only thing you can really ask them is, hey, how's the weather in India?
And what time is it over there?
What time is it over there? Hey, wait a second. Didn't I just call you about my Verizon phone not working?
Yeah, same guy.
Didn't you just have me reboot my computer?
Oh, no, this is Bob.
This is Bob.
This is Bob.
Yes.
So, yeah, people should be coming to see me, not when it's a 911. Look, we all know that long before they get that notice that the house is going into foreclosure, you've got some problems, and that's when they've got to kind of say, I'm not going to put my head where the sun don't shine. Give me a call.
So that river in Egypt is not an answer.
No.
Denial does not work.
No, denial does not work.
Yeah, and we've talked about this a lot of times before with multiple different types of situations, with short sales, with foreclosures, with all these things. The sooner you act, the better you plan, and the better your outcome.
Right.
Every single time, guaranteed. The sooner you plan, the better your outcome.
Well, it's going to be the best it could be.
Yeah.
Because what he says, denial is never, what is it? Denial?
The river in Egypt,
Right.
It's not an answer.
But it does empty into the Red Sea.
Wow, I like that.
Oh, wow, you guys are on it today.
I know.
Yeah.
All these great references.
First we do English literature, and now we do some stand-up.
So no, but realistically speaking, it's we're having fun here, but it can be really stressful.
Well,
really stressful.
my job is to take the stress away. And so, I know that I've done my job when people leave the office and you can see that their shoulders have come down from around their ears, which means that they're not as stressed as they used to be. And, I tell everybody, look, you got questions, give me a call. I'm here for you. And when they walk out and they feel better about themselves, I've done my job.
So
that's the important thing.
So full-time financial attorney, part-time psychologist.
There you go.
I wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
Our ambassador of wellness and comfort with us.
Hey, I haven't lost anybody yet.
And if you're wondering who we're speaking with, and now you know, I want some comfort. It's Lou Esbin, our debt doctor with Esbin Law. He's been out here he's been in the industry 26 years. Been out here since what, 93? Helping Santa Clarita residents.
93, 94. I was here after I volunteered with FEMA after the earthquake in drafty tents, and I was here for the community answering questions, and that was quite a time.
See, we love that. You are part of our community, as most our guests are. We try to bring in the best that understand us. I mean, they're part of our community. They love us. They care, and I know you care, and that's why we have you on the show, and that's why we have the show every week.
Thanks, guys.
Is to give great information, and we want to help you out there feel better and have a resource to talk to, because having a insurmountable amount of debt or changes your lifestyle, it could be just, like you said, it could be a, decrease in pay, loss of overtime, spouse losing a job. I know how that works.
Illness.
What's that?
I've had a lot of clients.
Oh yeah.
They're caregivers for their parents. You have the older baby boomers who are starting to get into their older years, and the younger baby boomers, and they're sandwiched in between their own kids and their parents, and all of a sudden they have to stop working because they have to be a caregiver for their parent, or maybe they're a caregiver for a child. Well, that throws the entire financial house into turmoil. Got to come see me because I can tell them what they might be facing down the road.
It's good to have a friend helping them, because you are our friend, and we entrust you. We have sent many clients to lose direction. What's nice, he always gives them valuable information, and they always walk away thanking us. So thank you for being a great extension of our business.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Because we care about you out there, and that's why we brought Lou in today.
Yeah, and I think we've talked a lot about the general aspect of financial wellness and the time when things can start to go awry. And what we also want to make sure that people understand is that there is solutions. There are options for sure.
There are options.
And the options always are the means to some sort of solution.
Absolutely.
So we have to try to see what some of those options are. How do we apply them? And when we apply them, what's the outcome?
Right.
So speaking of some of those, just very briefly speaking, what do you see is the number one thing that you do in your practice? How do you help people, the number one thing you do?
Well, of course, my practice over the last few years has been substantially a bankruptcy practice. But I think the number one thing that I do is I enable people to decide what is in the best financial interest of they and their families. And whether it's guiding them through a loan modification or a short sale or a foreclosure or a bankruptcy, that's the number one thing that I do.
Well, and I think the key word there is you guide them.
I guide them.
So you're a guide, and sometimes these are uncharted waters. You need a guide.
You totally need a guide, and look how many things that Lou just mentioned. I mean, our debt doctor just not just mentioned bankruptcy. You mentioned short sale, foreclosure. I mean, all the
loan modification.
It's in this order. It's
yeah.
It's loan modifications, it's short sales, it's foreclosure, it's bankruptcy. And if I determine that someone's not going to be a bankruptcy candidate, then we talk about whether or not there is debt negotiations that can take place.
So that's a pretty round. I mean, that's what's nice. I mean, it isn't just, you can't file a BK, bye.
No, there's a lot of pieces to the puzzle.
Right.
And what I try to do is tell people, look, all of these pieces of the puzzle, they fit together in different ways, and they give you a different picture. And so my job is to try to say, well, if you put the pieces of the puzzle together this way, this is what you're going to get. If you put it away that way, this is what you're going to get. And so then they can say, well, I want to go in that direction. Okay, we have a strategy. Let's stick to the strategy. Let's move forward on it. And that usually gets the best result.
And this is a strategy from a specialist, everyone. I mean, Lou Esbin's been doing this forever. He's a certified bankruptcy specialist, financial attorney for numerous years. And you're not just getting somebody that just answers the phone. I mean, we see that in our industry with, we won't mention, but the online, people helping you with loans, and pretty soon they're calling us back because they didn't give them sound advice. There is a huge, huge difference. I mean, I love that when they're like, how much do you charge? Well, the scenario can be multiple scenarios.
No,
like
what's your rate? That's the one we get.
Yeah,
you
get what's your rate, and you get how much you charge.
How much? And I say to people, if you go out for lunch and you had some spicy food, and you come back to the office and you have some chest pains, and do you call your doctor? Do you say, do you having a heart attack, or are you saying you have gas?
Right.
I can't make that decision.
Well, if we're talking about Gino, we know what it is.
Well, the other thing that you need to know is that when the law changed in 2005, there were about only 40 lawyers in Southern California that stayed on to do consumer bankruptcy, and 5 of us wrote a book for other lawyers on how to practice bankruptcy.
I love that.
So
an expert for experts.
Lawyer for lawyers.
There you go. That's
cool. The
cool.
only thing that worries me about your industry is you guys always call it practice.
We're always practicing, aren't they?
Certified specialists, we're not practicing anymore.
All right. I like that.
We know it.